Welcome to Free Build Extreme, our new series in PC Building Simulator 2. I'm your host, JVN, from the YouTube channel JVN Gaming. I've been playing PC Building Simulator and PC Building Simulator 2 for quite a while now. I played a bunch of both games, made a bunch of videos, and I've really enjoyed it, and excited to be kicking off Free Build Extreme for PC Building Simulator 2. Let's jump right in. So today we're going to be building a extreme PC. One that is uniquely capable and uniquely possible because of PC Building Simulator 2. We're going to be doing basically as much water cooling as you can do in one computer, and that's interesting because, well, we've got to actually do a little bit of work here on the water cooling bench before we can get started by building it, which is a new capability in PC Building Simulator 2 that we're going to check out. So let's jump into the water cooling bench and let's get things going. So here on the water cooling bench, we have the option to do motherboards, memory, or graphics cards, so we can water cool all of these things, which we are going to be doing because, well, yeah, ultimate water cooling. So let's start with motherboard. We've got quite a few choices here. I'm going to choose the MSI Meg Z690 Unify X because it sounds nice. It will fit Intel's newest CPUs. We have the option here to do CPU and VRM or CPU only. We're going to do CPU and VRM, so we're going to get a full coverage water block. So first we unscrew the stock heatsink, and then we remove it. And then we're going to open up the CPU socket, and we're going to slot in our 13900KF CPU. And close that up. So we do all this on the water cooling bench. We get the CPU installed, we get thermal paste applied, which we're going to do right now. We do this all right here. We don't even in the case or anything. And then we're going to apply our Shan CPU VRM water block V1. So that's our full coverage CPU block. And that's that. The motherboard's ready. Stored in your inventory, so we're good to go there. Okay, let's keep moving. We are going to go on to memory, because you can water cool memory in PC Building Simulator 2, which is pretty unique. We're going to go cost height low. We're going to go for some of the fastest DDR5 in the game. So yeah, DDR5 here on this motherboard, Z690. We are going to do Team Group T-Force Delta RGB series. This is 6400 megahertz, and it's a 16 gig DIMM. This motherboard actually only has 2 DIMM slots. So we're going to do 2 sticks, which is actually nice because you're going to see exactly, well, you're going to see why this would be nice, because we've got to remove all of these these thermal pads here and replace them. So we've only got to do 16 instead of 32. So it's actually kind of nice that we're only doing 2 sticks here. So we remove the stock ones. We're going to add in Thermal Grizzlies thermal pads here. Click, 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 click. We just got to click 16 times. Hopefully accurately. Missed a couple one. And we're going to put them back in our RAM buddy. Slot on our new heat sinks, and then the actual water block. And that is good to go. RAM has been water cooled and added to our inventory. Okay, so last thing is graphics cards. So we got a few options here. I'm going to go 3090s. We don't have any of the 40 series cards or AMD's new graphics cards yet, but I'm going to do the Asus ROG Strix RTX 3090s. They're nice. The Founders Edition ones are cool too. It's a very small, super compact card because of the size of that PCB. But we're going to do Asus's here because we got plenty of room in the case that we're going to put all this stuff in. So first thing we're going to do, and we are going to do 2 of these. I'm only going to show one since it's the same process, but we will actually do 2 cards. So we remove all of the factory thermal pads, back out. We're going to again replace with Thermal Grizzlies thermal pads on all of our memory chips. Back out, go to our cotton buds, or Q-tips as some people might call them. We're going to remove some thermal paste in a somewhat haphazard manner. Residue successfully removed. Grab our Thermal Grizzly thermal compound. Good to go. We back out, and then we get to choose which water block we're going to put on. So we've got a few different colors. I'm going to go with the one that's like all black. This is from EK. So do that, put it around, screw it on. I do have the auto screw tool. That's going to help us out in this video, help us move a little bit more quickly because we're doing a lot. And then we add it to our inventory. So I'm going to do that one more time off camera so you guys don't have to watch it, but we'll have 2 of them actually go into our build. All right, so now that we got all of our water cooling done, we can actually get to building this computer. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go to inventory. We're going to choose a case. And we're going to choose a pretty big case. We want to make sure we have plenty of room for all of our water cooling components. So we're going to go with the Cooler Master Cosmos C700P, which is a full tower case. It's pretty large. It's pretty nice. We can go ahead and swing the doors open. We're going to pull off this beauty pane on the front because we need to see everything. And we're also going to pull up the front panel, dust filter, top dust filter, and then I'm also going to remove the fans that are in the case. Like I said, we got the automatic screw tool, and that's helping this all move very quickly. Also, can we just remove the PSU shroud since we're here and we're doing it. Okay, so we can go to install and motherboards. We've got our most expensive stuff showing up first, which is our water-cooled MSI Mag Z690 Unify X ready to go. So we can just go ahead and put that in. And we've got our CPU obviously already slotted in there. Water cooling's all done. Thermal paste is good. Life is good. We've got our 2 memory slots here, which we can just go ahead and open the clips on. And then we go into memory, and there is that water-cooled Team Group T-Force Delta RGB at 6400 megahertz DDR5 ready to go. So like you can obviously also do 4 DIMM blocks, which is pretty cool. But I'm kind of relieved that we had something to do too. So there you go. Some new water cooling capabilities that are in PC Building Simulator 2 by being able to cool memory, which is pretty neat. Let's get some other water cooling components ready. One of the ones I like to get figured out right away and see how it mounts in a case is the pump res. And I'm going to go with Corsair's XT5 RGB combo in black. We're going to be going with kind of a black and gunmetal sort of aluminum look in this case. This mounts right here, which is really nice. It's very helpful, good position, easy to get to, doesn't block anything. So while we're doing that, let's go ahead and get radiators. We're going to do 2 of AlphaCool's Nexos ST30 360s. Those have Be Quiet fans on them. We're going to do 1 in the front here. We're going to do, we can actually change the rotation in PC Building Simulator 2, which is really nice. But I'm going to leave the fittings up top. And we're going to do 1 up here as well. And we're going to leave the fittings over to the left. Everything fits in there nice and cozy. Good clearance. Things look good. Okay, let's see. Let's get our graphics cards in. Now, you would think maybe, oh, water-cooled GPUs? No, that's not where they're at. This is basically like pre-water cooled. You don't actually have to do them on the bench. You can just buy them this way. So we're going to go back to PC parts, go to graphics cards, and then there are our 2 Asus ROG Strix GeForce RTX 3090s. 1, and we also need to remove a couple components to make this all work. You know, this and then this, and okay. Get you in there. And another one here. And we got the interesting looking little NVLink bridge there, the Band-Aid, but you know, other than that, things are looking real clean. Let's get a power supply installed also. I'm not gonna skimp on power. We won't need this much. I think we'll probably only pull about 1,000 watts max, but let's just do Corsair's AX 1600i 1600 watt power supply just to make sure we don't have any issues. You saw the automatic cable tool jumped there and connected everything automatically. We're gonna stick with black on this one. It's simple. And then let's put our PSU shroud back on. And I think we need a case fan in the back to match the Be Quiet fans on our radiators. Let's go to case fans. Let's look at Be Quiet. We can do a 140 mil fan back here. So we'll do this Pure Wings 2 140 mil. And that is a lot of stuff all connected and good to go. And it should actually, we could just, you know, you could check and make sure. Yep, okay, it powers on. Probably don't do that for very long because things are going to overheat. Okay, so now all that's really left is to actually pump everything together. So again, we've got a radiator up here, a radiator in the front. We've got a pump res. We've got memory. We've got CPU and VRM all in one block. And we've got 2 graphics cards that all need to get pulled into a loop. So I'm not going to do the loop on camera because it's going to take a while, especially to make it look nice. So I'm going to do that quick. We'll come back and we'll pick it up from there and see exactly how it performs and how temps look on something with this much water cooling. All right, we got this thing all plumbed up. Let's take a look here. Actually, let's go ahead and fill it with coolant while we talk because it does take a little bit in a loop this large. I'm going to go with purple opaque. Wait, where am I at? I'm in the wrong section here. We're going to go purple opaque. It looks pretty good. So we're going to go there. You can see, obviously, we're going to go to the right. We're going to go up into our radiator, out the radiator. We're going to come down along here, into the bottom graphics card, then the top graphics card, then into the memory, then into the CPU, and then back up into the top radiator and back to the reservoir. So I think it looks pretty good, pretty clean run for the most part. Got some good sharp angles and following some of the natural lines in the case. Look at that big CPU VRM block, a big mono block. And back to the pump res. So that's the loop. There it is. Now, boot. And actually, I already installed the OS to sort of skip that part. There it is. Cool. It works. Now, let's check and see. How are temps? So idling, 50C, 36C on each GPU. Let's hit it with a infinite stress test in OCT and see exactly what happens. GPU temps barely moved? That's insane. That's insane. They barely moved. They didn't move. I mean, honestly, the GPU didn't even move at all. Okay, cool. And even, honestly, the CPU only came up 10 degrees from min. So that's pretty cool. One thing we can do here in Peace Building Simulator 2 also is we can use our thermal camera to see, well, what do the temps look like? So we can come up here. We can click and see the external temperature on our graphics cards, 34 degrees C. It's insane. And on that mono block here, 58 C. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much reflecting exactly what we're seeing in the temperature readings there. So yeah, pretty good. I'd say the water cooling's doing its job. And yeah, so we got lots of cool possibilities in Peace Building Simulator 2 with water cooling and close that back up. It's a lot of fun and it looks pretty good too. So there it is. As much water cooling as we could do in one PC. Now, obviously, we could use different cases. Like, we could use the Radeon Tech Enyo. We could have more radiators than this. So I guess I can't say it's the most water cooling ever. Let's just say it's a lot of water cooling. And we got to do memory water cooling, which is pretty fun too. So I think it looks good also. I take it. So there you go. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, be sure to subscribe to the official Peace Building Simulator YouTube channel. And stay tuned for future Free Build Extreme episodes. And looking forward to being back again with that soon.